Good afternoon. I apologize if I sound like a Honda that hasn't been started in a while, but I wheel that to Rocket. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's dive in. So before we actually dive in, we got 15 seconds. Let's hold on about this now. Do the show of hands. Has anybody been a transferee before? Oh, this is awesome. We've got quite a few folks. This is really cool. So my background, I've been a transferee. I was overseas for quite a while in a few different locations. I was in Cairo for a little bit learning Arabic, well, Islam actually. Then I was in Korea studying Son Buddhism and Korean Buddhism. And then in China, I was there for the longest time. Actually, I left with an NGO from the US. It is supposed to be just a 1-year stint. It turned out to be 16. After all those experiences, you would have thought relocating back to the US was the easiest. But I'll tell you, my husband and I did not have the easy time. We're at odds. We're coming back from my job, he was giving up his, and just the divide in the dynamics was incredible. We started to reach out to friends in Singapore, friends in Geneva, friends across the world, and ask them how did they mitigate issues? How did they work in a relocation where there's two different nationalities in a unique situation? And we found out we weren't alone. And what we actually discovered is that on any given day, there's about 40,000 subconscious processes that a human does innately. This means these are learned. These are things that you're doing and you're not even thinking about. In terms of wellness, we've got 8 dimensions. 8 dimensions, not just your well-being in terms of your spirituality or how well you feel, but it's your environment, it's your social environment. It's around it's your occupation. Does anybody recognize the picture here? Maybe the name, Abraham Maslow? Hierarchy of needs, exactly. And when I started to map out the existing services we have in relocation, guess what I found? A lot of them reach to a certain point in the pyramid, really around the lower bases in terms of safety, in terms of security. But once you get to the higher levels, things that really have meaningful impact on human beings in terms of your sense of belonging, your sense of person, yourself, your sense of achievement as well, it doesn't really get there. In terms of diversity, it's super important because the demographics and populations of people who are relocating, these are photos of actual people who relocated in the last year. These are real individuals. And I have up here a few quotes from what people are thinking. On the left side is an assignee. On the right side is a typical global ability individual who's handling that. And it just shows you the difference in what each party is thinking about, what they care about, what they find important, and what they're being held to. And what this is supposed to do is show that while the relocation is happening, there's a lot of tests that happen. There's a lot of the emotional turmoil inside. So what I've found a secret that has been incredibly helpful is mentorship. Mentorship with people who have a skill set, particularly in cognitive behavior or mental health, coupled with an actual experience. And this is what some of them said, or I have that experience.
Exactly, experience is practice, providing this guidance, the support, the encouragement to navigate through the complexities of living and working in a foreign environment.
So it would have been extremely valuable to have someone, even before you go, to say, these are some things that you might run into, and even these are some things you might feel. So it would have been...
So mentoring those kind of things give you the security to start feeling like home, because at the end of the day, right now, we're at home, right? So reducing the timing to adapt to a place is a big opportunity.
Yeah, so we just recently completed a survey. It's still open. We're going to finish it in the next week. But 59% of the respondents out of 2,500 global evolution professionals have said they do not have a wellness program for their mobility. They relied on EAPs. Those 64% had said that actually they believe they would impact the experience in their going through. According to Sherman, 81% of employees who receive well-being support are more likely to stay with their role or that transition. From the CDC, individuals that have access to proactive well-being support have a 41% increase in absenteeism and a 28% decrease in sick day leave. What this means in dollar figures, according to the Harvard Business Review, is that for every dollar you spend on a well-being initiative that's proactively supporting employees, the return is up to $3 back in productivity. For employees that feel supported, not only do you have them engaged, but also on the other side from the company, they have employees that are present and they're able to fulfill projects quicker. And at the same time, you have a reduction in actual exceptions because the employees have an outlet that they can go to. Thank you very much.
Great job, Michael. One more hand for Michael Hughes with Better Go.